Yo, what's good, my people? Tekken and Lidia fam, welcome back to the channel Run of the Fade, where we go, we run of the fade. And we're back with some more Lidia Season 2 preparation style content. And today, I'm going to hit you with 12 ways that we could buff Lidia for Season 2. Obviously, Season 2 is coming up. I've played a lot of Lidia in this game. Lydia's obviously my main. And the more I play, I think it's natural. The more I play this character, the better I start to feel like she is, right? So I still feel like she's a pretty weak character. I feel like she could do with some buffs, but I also feel like she's not too far away from being a really good character, right? So I got some changes that I think would make a real good difference to this character. I don't think all of these changes should be made, because that, like, I feel like all of these changes put together at once would make her a little bit too good. 3 or 4 or 5 of these changes made to this character going into Season 2. Obviously, she got a new move coming. We don't know what it is. That move alone could really push her over the edge. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But these changes are something that I feel like could make a really good difference to this character. Before we go ahead into those changes, I want you to go ahead, if you do enjoy this video, make me a promise. Leave a like on the video. Go ahead, show the algorithm that you're fucking with the video and push it out to more people. Keep growing this channel. Keep doing our thing. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's look at some of these changes that could be made towards the Polish Prime Minister. So, first change, if you haven't seen, I've done a video already where I gave one buff or nerf, one change to every character on the roster. When it came to Lidia, I already done this one, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But I want to see Red Poppy, which is QCF 1+2. I want to see this move be hit confirmable. Now, it doesn't have to be like, I don't necessarily want it to be an easy hit confirm. It could be a difficult hit confirm, but just make it hit confirmable. Right now, it's kind of almost hit confirmable, but it's not hit confirmable, right? If you make this move hit confirmable, I think it solves one of her biggest issues without fixing her completely, right? Like, I think her biggest issue is sidestepping. Another next biggest issue is probably that she kind of just has weak lows. Mids. Not really that threatening, right? And the ones that are quite slow, like back one, right? This one, if you make this hit confirmable so that I can actually threaten my opponent with it more consistently without running the risk of being -14, some characters are launching. A lot of characters get really good 14 frame punishes now in Tekken 8. If you give me the ability to hit confirm this, right, it will be a really good mid. You see +24 on hit. The second hit is counter hit launcher, and it's quite a delayable. You can see it's really delayable, right? Quite a delayable string. So it will add a little mind game. And I think it would make this string. I think making this hit confirmable alone would make a really big difference towards this character. Like I said, it even tracks fairly well for a character, like I said, who has real big problems with being sidestepped. I think making this move somewhat hit confirmable, like I say, not everybody needs to be, but like with some training and dedication, being able to hit confirm this move would make a big difference for this character. Alright, so change number 2, right? And this is a really good one. I think this is one that kind of needs to happen. I think this is a big issue that Lidia has. If you learn this matchup, you'll soon realize that there's not really any situations. There's very, very few situations against Lidia where you can't move, where she can actually lock you down, right? Even with her plus frames, you can always either sidestep or backdash, right? Whether it's right or left, you just have to pick the right option, right? Whereas a lot of characters in this game, they can really lock you down. They have moves that will track you left and right. They're basically homing. They don't have a homing trail, but they're basically homing. Lidia just doesn't have that. Like, if you're gonna, like this, you can sidestep it left. This, you can sidestep it. Like, you can always sidestep one of her moves left or right. And if you can't, which you usually can, on top of that, you can always backdash, because the ones that do track just have really short range, right? Like, stubby moves, right? Down for one, really short. So this change, I think a big problem, one thing that would make a huge difference is her charge moves. Any moves like this that give her real plus frames, like, look at the pushback. I think just reducing the pushback on her plus frame moves make a huge difference. Even while running one, not as bad, I can still land, but if you backdash, You'll get out of this. You'll get out of this. You'll get out of this. Basically, all of the moves that would track you, you can get out of. And these moves anyway, like this, you can sidestep out of this. You can sidestep out of this. All of the moves that I would be following up with, obviously, forward 2. You can sidestep out of all of these options, right? And you could backdash out all of these options. So I think reducing the pushback, you've got this. Even the less charge, like right there. This one, I can't do anything with this pushback. I literally can't use these frames at all. Even this one, right? Like, you could backdash out of this. What else is there? She has a fair amount of charge moves, but if you just reduce the pushback, and like this is kind of silly. This is longer than round start. Like this is resetting neutral. The +7 means nothing. Useful at the wall, but I think in neutral, because like this move, if you let me charge this move up fully and you block it, I should be rewarded with +7. Like I don't even have to be right in your face. Even like here would be like, you know, like I think those changes that would help this character a lot. I think this is one of the best ones. The first two that I've had here, some of the best changes that would help her a lot. Alright, so like I said, I think I got like the ones that would help her the most out the way. From here, they're not, I mean, I don't want to say not as important, but you know, less impactful, I think, right? The next one fits into her game plan a lot, and I think would make a smaller difference. Lidia has very good punishment across the board. She's got a good 10 frame, she's got 11 frame, she's got 12 frame, she's got 13 frame, she's got 14 frame, and then she's got like all of her punishment is pretty good. But and you've got options as well. Like with this, you don't really have to go into stance. Good options. I think buffing this 10 frame punish would help a lot. So that, because a lot of the time in this, when you go into this stance, I don't want to say your options are bad, but there's a lot of counterplay to make your risk reward not that great, especially against some characters. They have a lot of good counterplay, right? And I think making it so that you don't have to take the risk of going into stance all the time, and you can run this punish, because this punish right now is just like +1. I'm just not really going to use this. I think if you just give her more plus frames on hit, we've seen them do this with other characters. We've seen them do it with Shaheen's punish, Zafina's, I think it was Zafina's 10 frame punish as well. A lot of characters got a lot of plus frames, and I think if you make this, like, give her a ballerina spin like Jin, right? I don't know, make her +13 or something. I think that would help her a lot, so that, like I said, she doesn't always have to go into stance and run that casino game plan. Obviously, you could go into stance and not do anything, but at that point, you've given up your turn, right? I think buffing this, just to give her another option in situations where you don't want to run the mix, and maybe you could just safely take your turn. Again, another thing that would help her out quite a bit. Change number 4. Next one up, I think her Magic 4 needs a buff. A very slight buff. A very slight buff. Her Magic 4 is one of the most nerfed moves, I think, from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8, period. In Tekken 7, she used to have 2 options. She used to have this one, and she used to have 4-2, which would actually counter hit launch, right? She no longer has a counter hit launch option. This is not a natural combo. She doesn't get a launch, like I said. And now it's -14 on block. It used to be -12, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was -12. No, I'm pretty sure it was 10. This was -10 in Tekken 7, right? Now it's 14, so she gets less reward off of this and gets punished way harder. There's also no more mix-up, because 4-2, like I said, used to be a high. So there would be that mix-up. Now there's no mix-up, she gets less reward, and she's more punished. I think making this even -13. 14, like, again, some characters are launching her. Paul, Brian, Ling, some of these characters can launch her for running a Magic 4. And the only thing that she gets... Not even doing it right, but the only thing that she gets now is that, right? And it's decent damage, But the risk reward for running that at minus 14, that's why you never see anyone use her magic 4, right? And I think this is another one of her biggest issues where Lidia really doesn't have the best get off me tools. She doesn't really have any evasive options other than this one. So her defensive options outside of parry and get to parry could be better as well. They're not great. So I think her magic 4, making it minus 13, even minus 12. Honestly, I don't want to jump the gun, but it was minus 10, like I said. It could be minus 10 again, because like I said, she doesn't have the option she had in Tekken 7. So I don't even think it would be too crazy, but I'd be happy with at least 13. Okay, change number 5 or 6, right? This one's a little bit of a more under the radar change, I guess, or a smaller change, let's say, right? A move that a lot of people don't use as much as they should. A lot of Lidia players don't use this move as much as they should. Really good move. Covers her weak side. There's a lot more that goes into it that I'll cover probably in a later video, right? Especially people who pick up the character. Like, Lidia mains probably know how good this is. But people who just pick up the character for fun don't really know how useful this move is. And I would like to see this buffed again. I say again, it's not been buffed, right? I'd like to see this buffed anyway. Just on block. I think on hit, this move serves its purpose. And just as the option that it is, serves its purpose, right? But on block, minus 8. I would like to see this buffed a little bit. Well, I want to see it buffed a lot, to be honest, right? I don't want to go too far because it does have the follow-up. And the follow-up being minus 12 is actually, it's pretty good. Like, I'm happy with that. And the follow-up that you get, forward 1+2, good damage, right? But you can't really play that stagger game. I think the stagger game would help her a bit with the mind game. So I think like minus 4. I think minus 4 would be perfect, right? Which would allow me to potentially sidestep, maybe even minus 5, because the mental frames would still be there. Allow me to sidestep follow-ups, allow me to parry follow-ups, and still run that option of the counter hit follow-up being there, right? So I think taking this on block, minus 8, you can't do anything with it. Completely giving your turn up. And like you can already, like I say, you could backdash out of this on block. You could sidestep out of this on block. So it's not like, it would not be too powerful, in my opinion. It'd be a really good change that would help her overall neutral when she's not having to use forward 2 all the time. Next change, another kind of neutral change. Another move that I want to see buffed is forward 3. Another issue that Lidia has where she's quite weak is kind of keep out. This move is theoretically could be really good at keep out because you see right here, it kind of has this disjointed hitbox where like it's not really hitting your opponent, but it's got pretty good range, right? And it's got this follow-up, but as you can see, the follow-up isn't even guaranteed on hit. It's also a high, so it can be ducked. Even on hit, can be ducked and launched. So what I want to see, I don't even want to see it become a natural combo. I would just want to see, again, like down forward 3, I want to see the frames buffed. But this one, I want to see the frames buffed on hit and on block. On hit, less so, because like I say, you do have that follow-up. The mental frames are there. But even with the mental frames, it's still not really your turn, right? But you can delay it, which is something. But delaying it is just not really that smart, if you ask me. So this, maybe even 0 on hit. Maybe 0 on hit, because like I say, you have the threat of the follow-up. Even though no one is throwing out this follow-up. No one's throwing out this follow-up. It's just, like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just do this move by itself. But doing this follow-up, make this 0 on hit, in my opinion. And then on block, also buff this, because it's minus 11, and I don't think it should be. I get the idea. Again, you have the follow-up, which goes into a guaranteed 1-2-2. So I get the idea. It just doesn't work, right? So it being minus 11 kind of just makes this move not usable. Again, if you watch Lidia players, they're not using this move. And I think having this move as keep out would help her a lot. Just like this. It also, again, wouldn't be too strong because it's also already a linear move. You can sidestep this either way, so it would still have that. But on block, let's say on block, we bring this down to minus 5, Again, -5, -4. On hit, maybe 0 on hit. But buffs to the frames all round would give Lidia something to keep out with. Like right now, I kind of play keep out with Political Storm, which is obviously wildly risky, right? If I expect someone to come in sometime, I don't do it all the time, but sometimes I'll throw out this. Giving us something a little bit safer to play keep out with. Yeah, I like the idea there. Away from the kind of neutral and towards damage, this is a smaller one. If this one doesn't happen, you know, it's not a big deal, but I think it would be nice. And that's just to buff her blue spark damage in general. Give the players more reward for hitting these blue sparks. Because right now, like 19 damage for a regular launcher. If you hit the blue spark, you get 21. 2 extra damage. I think we could buff that a little bit more. Give her 23, 24. Same with this one. 28 without the blue spark. Can't even hit it right now. And then 31. Again, you're getting 2 points of damage. Same with this. Same with this one. 45. 46 for the blue spark, right? I mean, this one's not exactly difficult, but still. Across the board, all of her blue spark options give us a little bit more damage for hitting them, right? Because right now, it's like there's not even really an incentive to hit the blue spark. It's not really worth it. I mean, you might as well try, but, you know, not getting a huge reward for doing it. So, for the next change, we're staying along the same kind of, the same area, right, of damage buff. And it's as regards to her Sabaki. Same thing. I think more damage to her blue spark damage. Let's see if I can even hit it. Let's see. Show me your. Come on, Rain. Show me your mastery. Can't even hit it. That's another thing. They're not easy to hit, right? So. Damn, I can't hit this. Too early. Damn, I can't hit this right now. There we go, 41. Again, you get 3 extra damage. As you can see, it's not exactly easy to hit, right? So, more damage, blue spark. And I think more damage in general, right? I think more damage. Because this move is again, it's quite risky to throw out. It's slow at 23 frames. It has no tracking. And then even calling out, this is a high specific parry. So like, a lot more risk than just throwing out this one, which is just punches in general, right? If you think your opponent's going to punch back, you might as well just do this one and play it a little bit safer, right? Because if they go for a down forward 1 or down forward 2, now you're getting launched, right? So a little bit more damage, I think, right? Especially with this being a character who they clearly want. They want her parries to be a part of her game, right? So buff them. Make me more willing to use them because of a higher reward, right? I'm gonna throw in a little honorable mention as well to her kick parry, her low parry, sorry. Just to make it easier to land. Like it's quite hard to time. Like even if you predict the low coming, like if you don't time it perfectly, you're not getting the parry. So just make the frames a little bit more generous. And then, like I said, give her some more damage on this. 38, put it up to 40, 45 even. Like, you know, make it hurt. Right, now next change regarding hit properties. Very simple. I think this move should wall splat. I personally don't think it would be too good if it wall splats. This is a really good whiff punisher for Lidia. This is what I usually use to whiff punish, if not Political Storm. But as you can see, this obviously has more range. Political Storm can be a little bit inconsistent because it's not until the second hit, really, like at certain ranges where it's going to hit, right? So I usually go for this. Really good, 46 damage, natural combo. But at the wall, you just have less options. At least maybe, if not that, make Political Storm wall splat. Because right now, all you really have is this to wall splat. And obviously, this one just does a lot more damage. You could scale the damage higher because obviously you do that and wall splat and then do a full combo. It's probably gonna hurt, right? But yeah, let me whiff punish and wall splat with this move. Because she needs a little bit of help with the wall splatting situation. Okay, on to the final 3 moves. This one's one I'm a little bit more on the fence with. I think this one really could push her over the limit of being a really good character. So I'm not entirely sure. And it's her down forward one. This one, like, another one, if it doesn't change, like, we can live without it. But I think her down forward one, this is one especially, like, I'm growing out of. Like I said, the more I play this character, the more I'm like, we can live without this, right? But her down forward one being -5 and only +2 on hit, I know she's got these follow-ups. But this one -13, I mean, it's not the worst. And this one high, people do duck this quite a bit. This follow-up is really good if it doesn't get ducked. I use this one a lot. But just this one to be able to, like, I don't know. Like, this, maybe the other options aren't threatening enough, but people don't, they're not really scared of them. This one I don't use so much. I tend to just go for this more, which is why I personally want to see a buff to this. Obviously, I think if you're going to buff this, then you need to nerf this a little bit. To be honest, for me personally, you could take this away completely. I don't really think she needs this. If you're going to take this away as well, maybe you buff this, because this is a counter hit. I don't even remember, actually. Is this a counter hit launcher still? Yeah. So she has this, so she doesn't really need this. Obviously, people don't use this as well, but I don't know. Make this better on block. So I'm thinking -3, you know. And then on hit, again, buff it. Make it -4. -4 would be perfect. -4 is pretty much the golden number for Lidia. 4 and 6. I mean, sorry, not minus, +4. +4 and +6, the golden numbers for Lidia. So make this +4 on hit. Maybe -3 on block would help. As you can probably hear my voice. I'm not as convinced on this one because it could just push her over the limit and make her a little bit too good, having a really good down forward one with really good options off of it. But yeah, it's an option. Definitely this is one of the ones where if you make this change, you can't give her all the other changes as well. Cool. Final 2 changes, right? This is one which is just for a move that right now is again another dead move for Lidia. She has a lot of dead moves. Also, I just want to another honorable mention, just get rid of this move, because this move literally has no use. It has, this follow-up has no use. As you can see, it's not even a natural hit. Like, it's not natural on hit, which means that it's only on counter hit. But this is a counter hit launcher. So why would I ever do that follow-up? If I'm gonna get a counter hit launcher, why on earth would I do this? And I mean, okay, I'm seeing now it breaks the floor. Didn't know that. But still, that's very specific, and still, like, I might as well just do my combo, get my launcher, and break the floor like that, right? Yeah. Honorable mention, that's not what we're here for. But just get rid of that move. Just get rid of it. It's fucking useless. At first, I thought it was to, like, in case someone blocks it. In case someone blocks the first move, it would interrupt the punish, but it doesn't. It's just useless. But anyway, another move that is damn near useless. It's just too slow. And as we know, Lidia has issues with tracking. I don't want to see them get rid of her issues with tracking, because I like as always, we want characters to have weaknesses. We don't want perfect characters. I like the fact that I have to think. I think you have to think a little bit too hard to get around sidestepping. She's a little bit too weak to sidestepping. But I don't think buffing her homing move too much is the answer. But buffing this move a little bit would help. Make it faster. 22 frames. Or either make it faster or better on block. -9 for a 22 frame move. I mean, it's good on hit, right? +12. Really good. But nah. On block and speed, I think make it about 18, 19 frames would help. Wouldn't make it too strong, but also would really make it useful having a mid. Because right now, other than this, she doesn't have a mid homing move. You have this, which is pretty good, and you have this. They're both highs, so if you want to sidestep Lidia, really you just sidestep duck, and it covers everything she has. So this move getting a buff would definitely help her. And to wrap it up, the final change for Lidia to help her out a little bit. This one goes back, I mentioned she doesn't have the best evasive moves. She has this, and she has this. This move is pretty good apart from that you see right there. The range is abysmal. Like, sometimes it's very inconsistent. I mean, if I'm right in your face, yeah, it's gonna get you, right? But any range outside of this, like, just give it a little bit more range. Give it a better hitbox, sorry, to where, and then even at closer ranges, certain moves are gonna, I don't know, they're just not. Either that, or I don't want to really see this, but I guess the other option, make it a mid. But just buff his hitbox, make it hit more consistently. It's a really good move. If you're in heat and it counter hits, you get a launch. You get political storm outside of heat. It's a pretty good move, but just make it hit more consistently at a better range. And that's that. Yeah, I feel like the moves on this list, the changes on this list, I don't think they're too egregious. I think most of them really make sense to help this character out without making her too strong. They fit into what the character is. They don't change the identity of the character. They don't cover up her weaknesses too much. They kind of help with her weaknesses rather than alleviating her weaknesses, right? So I think, let me know what you think about some of these changes. If you're a Lidia main, let me know how you feel like she should be changed. If you're a Lidia hater, let me know how you feel she should be nerfed. I feel like there's definitely some stuff that should be weakened with Lidia. I think her heaven and earth can be really silly at times. But yeah, I think her weaknesses really level her out. So I don't want to see them covered too much, but helped out a little bit, right? I can't wait for season 2 to see how this is going to be. I can't wait to see what kind of changes. I can't wait to see her new move. I hope it's not completely arse. I hope it's a good move, right? And I'm ready, bro. I can't wait to get grinding on season 2. It's going to be sick. Like, subscribe, and share. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video at all, if you've enjoyed the videos I've been posting, please go ahead and subscribe. Sharing, whatever, bro. But like the video, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Or at least come back. Even if you don't subscribe, make sure you keep an eye out. Keep coming back. If you already are subscribed, hit the notification bell. Right now, I'm in content mode, bro. I'm loving making content. I'm loving playing this game. Yeah. I ain't gonna yap on for too long. I see you guys in season 2. Always remember, don't be afraid to run up a fade. Peace.